Every single dollar sitting comfortably in a traditional savings account is currently being mathematically liquidated by macroeconomic inflation. The financial loophole that allowed previous generations to build wealth simply by playing it safe is permanently closed, and banking institutions are actively weaponizing your financial responsibility to guarantee your poverty. Right now, there is an incredibly narrow, rapidly closing window of opportunity to protect your purchasing power before the global fiat currency liquidation accelerates beyond your control. If you firmly believe that hoarding cash inside a commercial bank makes you financially secure, you are operating on obsolete data that is actively destroying your future. Financial elite absolutely depend on your biological fear of the open market. They desperately need you to be financially responsible. They need you to play it safe. In the next few minutes, I'm going to expose the clinical architecture of the savings trap. I'm going to show you exactly why your logical, educated decision to save your money is the precise mechanism transferring your wealth directly to Wall Street. The cost of your inaction today is mathematically devastating. If you close this video right now to protect your ego and defend your savings account, you are making a conscious, voluntary choice to accept a guaranteed, permanent financial loss. You are choosing the illusion of safety over actual financial sovereignty. Society programmed a devastating lie into your biological operating system from the moment you were born. The system told you that the ultimate sign of adult intelligence is being a good, obedient saver. You go to work, you pay your massive tax burden, you aggressively cut back on your personal expenses, and you diligently put 20% of your paycheck into a high-yield bank account. You log into your banking app, you see the digital numbers slowly rising, and your brain delivers a massive hit of dopamine. You feel a profound sense of pride. You firmly believe you are building an impenetrable financial fortress for your family. You are completely blind to the clinical math. Saving money is no longer a wealth management strategy. It is a slow, agonizing financial death sentence. How does macroeconomic inflation liquidate your cash? When you look at the raw data of the modern global economy, the concept of a safe savings account is a mathematical impossibility. To understand exactly why your financial responsibility is a carefully engineered trap, you must fundamentally understand the weapon of macroeconomic inflation. Inflation is not a mysterious force of nature, and it is certainly not an accident. It is a highly calculated, systemic tax on the uneducated. It is the silent mechanism that governments and central banks use to fund their deficits by permanently diluting the purchasing power of your stored labor. Every single day you leave your capital parked in a traditional financial institution, it is bleeding out. Let us look at the clinical reality of your portfolio diversification. If you place $100,000 in a standard savings account, the bank might graciously pay you a 1 or 2% yield. The actual true cost of living, the cost of housing, energy, healthcare, and premium food, is rising by at least 7 to 10% annually in real terms. Your money is mathematically rotting inside the vault. You are losing 6 to 9% of your life force every single year, completely passively, without ever spending a single dime. You think your money is safe because the nominal number on the glowing screen has not gone down. The banking elite know this is a biological delusion. They know that human beings struggle to comprehend the silent, invisible erosion of purchasing power. A dollar is not a permanent unit of value. It is a melting block of ice in a hot room. If you wait 10 years, that $100,000 might still say 100,000 on your digital screen, but it will only buy you exactly half the physical assets it could have bought today. This is the brutal reality of fiat currency liquidation. You are running on a corporate treadmill that is secretly speeding up, and your strategy of playing it safe guarantees that you will eventually collapse from absolute financial exhaustion. If you do not execute aggressive asset management today, your cash will be worthless tomorrow. What is the hidden cost of financial responsibility? The darkest part of this mathematical equation is not the inflation itself. It is the psychology of the victim. The middle class is absolutely addicted to the identity of being responsible. Your ego violently demands the comfort of predictability. You look at people who take extreme financial risks, people who invest heavily in volatile assets or start aggressive businesses, and you judge them. You call them reckless. You call them greedy. You soothe your own anxiety by telling yourself that you are the smart one because your money is insured by the government. This is cognitive dissonance in its purest, most destructive biological form. Your brain is utterly terrified of the open market. It is terrified of volatility. So, to protect you from the agonizing anxiety of making a mistake, your primitive amygdala convinces you that doing nothing is a valid investment strategy. It frames financial cowardice as financial intelligence. The hidden cost of this responsibility is absolute, paralyzing inaction. When you identify as a safe player, you biologically block yourself from acquiring high-yield assets. You refuse to study advanced behavioral finance because you think your basic savings account is already doing the work. You refuse to execute proper capital allocation because you are paralyzed by the fear of losing even a single penny of your principal. You spend thousands of hours over your lifetime meticulously budgeting your grocery bill, cutting coupons, and denying yourself basic human comforts, all to save a few dollars that the central banks will instantly devalue the next morning by printing billions more. You are sacrificing your short-term happiness to diligently build a long-term prison. Your risk tolerance is zero, and therefore your freedom is zero. Why do banks weaponize your savings account? If saving money is a guaranteed mathematical loss for you, why does the entire global financial system relentlessly encourage you to do it? Because your financial paralysis is the absolute lifeblood of institutional leverage. Pause and write this exact phrase down right now. Commercial banks do not hold your money for your benefit. They hold your money to fund their empire. When you deposit your hard-earned corporate paycheck into a safe account, that money does not sit quietly in a vault waiting for you to withdraw it. The second your deposit clears the system, the bank immediately deploys it. Through the clinical, highly profitable mechanics of fractional reserve banking, they take your money and lend it out to massive corporations, private equity firms, and the elite class at massive interest rates. They use your stagnant capital to buy the exact same cash-flowing assets, commercial real estate, and index funds that you are too terrified to buy for yourself. They generate massive, compounding profits using your life force, and in return, they throw you a microscopic fraction of a percent to keep you docile and compliant. You are voluntarily taking 100% of the macroeconomic inflation risk, and they are taking 100% of the financial upside. They have successfully weaponized your biological need for safety. Wall Street desperately needs a massive, obedient population of rule followers who are willing to lock their capital in low-yield accounts, so the elite can borrow it cheaply. If the middle class woke up tomorrow and collectively decided to stop playing it safe, the entire infrastructure of the global credit markets would face an immediate, catastrophic liquidity crisis. The system absolutely requires your financial ignorance to survive and thrive. How do the elite execute capital allocation? The 1%, the clinical architects of true generational sovereignty, do not save money. They completely and utterly reject the concept of hoarding depreciating fiat currency. They operate on a ruthless, highly systematic protocol of capital allocation. They execute aggressive financial defensive protocols immediately. They buy commercial real estate. They buy equity in private businesses. They acquire scarce commodities. They maximize their tax-advantaged accounts. They build automated business systems that rely heavily on compound interest and leverage. They do not want their money to be safe in a vault. They want their money to be dangerous. They want it aggressively multiplying in the open market. They intentionally embrace volatility because they know that volatility is the absolute only mechanism on Earth that produces massive asymmetrical returns. They endure the short-term psychological discomfort of watching their portfolio fluctuate because they are entirely focused on long-term generational wealth transfer. The elite understand that true wealth is invisible to the banking system. They do not leave their net worth exposed in a basic checking account for the government to track, tax, and inflate away. They lock their value into legal structures, offshore trusts, and sovereign assets. They use debt as a strategic tool to acquire more assets, effectively shorting the fiat currency. They borrow money that is guaranteed to lose value over time to buy assets that are mathematically guaranteed to gain value over time. It is a masterclass in asymmetrical financial warfare, and it is the exact, polar opposite of playing it safe. What is the exact cost of playing it safe today? Every single day you delay killing your safe, middle-class identity, the open market mercilessly punishes you. The true, mathematical cost of your inaction today is absolutely devastating to your long-term survival. You are completely out of time to fix this. While you are sitting there, incredibly proud of your little 6-month emergency fund, the fundamental rules of global capital are permanently shifting beneath your feet. The financial gap between those who own hard assets and those who simply hold cash is no longer a gap. It is an unbridgeable canyon. If you do not execute a sovereign financial protocol today, you will be forced to work until the exact day your physical body completely fails. You will rely on a broken, mathematically insolvent government pension system that will completely evaporate right when you actually need it the most. You have a brutal binary choice staring you in the face right now. You can close this video, go back to your meticulous budget spreadsheet, check your safe banking app, and remain a highly profitable, perfectly obedient asset for Wall Street. You can voluntarily choose to be the battery that powers their institutional leverage. Or you can wake up and face reality. You can stop vehemently defending a strategy that mathematically guarantees your poverty. You can ruthlessly murder your middle-class ego, embrace the temporary clinical discomfort of the market, and start executing the exact capital allocation protocols of the elite. You must immediately transition from the mindset of a frightened hoarder who begs the system for safety to the mindset of a clinical architect who deploys capital to conquer the system. The trap of the safe prison is only inescapable if you willingly refuse to look at the iron bars. Hit the subscribe button right now as your absolute declaration of financial sovereignty. Check the links in the description to access the exact defensive toolkits the elite use to structure their portfolios and protect their wealth from inflation. Master the math, execute your ego, or prepare to be permanently liquidated by the system. See you in the next protocol.